Pear Deck is this really powerful tool that works with your Google Slides. Like, it goes over them almost like it's a transparency, and it allows them to be more interactive. It will give you, like, access to students', like, answers in this private, structured way. You can make learning more collaborative, allow you to do these little SEL check-ins, super great. So the resource that I have for you linked down below are some templates that are built into Pear Deck that you can just kind of drag and drop and implement pretty easily, especially if you're using Pear Deck already. Right after I'm done yapping here and showing you how to get access to Pear Deck, is a quick interview that I did with Heidi Reeser back in the spring. We just happened to be meeting about something else. She mentioned something about Pear Deck, had these great resources, and I said, "Hey, can I record our Zoom meeting and you can talk about that a little bit?" So you'll see me and her talking for a couple minutes right when we're done here. On my screen, though, here is how you access Pear Deck. First, you can go to peardeck.com. You can log in. It is free to a point. Google single sign on. Log in with your Google account, create an account, and you're in. You're good to go. There is a premium version that allows you access to some pretty worthwhile features. It's not crazy cheap, but it is worthwhile if you're going to be using it consistently. So you can log into Pear Deck that way, and then you can create sessions in here. But I honestly find the easiest way is to create a new slideshow, so a Google slide. You come up here to add-ons. Notice I've got this little Pear Deck icon here. You won't have that unless you've used Pear Deck already. Go to add-ons, get add-ons, and then you're looking for Pear Deck. You can just search for Pear Deck here, click on it, and you'll see this install button here. Once you do that, Pear Deck might pop up here, or if you go back to add-ons, you'll see Pear Deck right here. Click open Pear Deck, and it's going to give you this little sidebar over here, and this is how you use Pear Deck. You're most likely going to get a free trial to the premium version if this is the first time you've ever used it. Worth it, go for it, test it out. Otherwise, you're just going to have access to a couple of things here. And then literally the way you use Pear Deck is you build your slides like normal, um, answer this question. And then you put like, how old are you? And then text, and that's it. So then when you start a Pear Deck session, simply by going to select lesson or start lesson, you have the option between student pace and instructor paced. Instructor pace will allow you to do things together with students. They go to joinpd.com, enter in this code, and just for kicks and giggles, actually, let me show you what that looks like. This little SEL check here. And then this is what they'll see. Answer this question, how old are you? And then I am 1,000 years old. And then I can see that as a teacher over here on my teacher dashboard. And I can also see how they said they were doing right here. Pretty sweet. Okay, that's how Pear Deck works. Super duper crash course. Let's hear from Heidi, and then you can dig in if you think this is worth your time.
Yeah, so we're working on some technology and we were talking about Pear Deck and I said, "Oh, I love this social emotional learning template in Pear Deck because you can use this Pear Deck as a morning check-in. Um, you could also use this Pear Deck as a gauge for how well, you could use this for an engagement kind of dipstick, right? How engaged do you think these kids are going to be in the topic we're going to be talking about today? But what I like about it is it's a great check in, it's a great stress check, and then it also addresses the topic you're going to be learning about. And not only that, social awareness, because it asks you to try to seek out a different perspective, one that's different from your own, which actually depending on the age is what we want to strive for. We want to be able to take perspective. So I love this Pear Deck because of that. And it's interactive, right? So they get to go and submit their own personal responses. It's not like putting anybody on the spot in a class, maybe like a class meeting, where you pull everybody together and the kids that have had a bucket dipping day maybe won't share, but they can when you offer them this interactive Pear Deck. So bright, colorful, great resource.
No, and that's excellent. And so below this, I'm also providing instructions on how to install Pear Deck into PowerPoint and then how to create this lesson. But I mean, the beauty behind this is you don't actually have to create anything. You just have to go through and edit some of these different pieces here, like regarding what topic are you talking about. So you just delete that and put your own stuff in there. And the Pear Deck responses are already put in here for you. It's this nice drag and drop. And I haven't made this video yet, but my plan is in the intro to talk about not only the importance of incorporating activities that address the social emotional learning benchmarks into everyday lessons, but also intentional teaching of some of those social emotional skills. This does both, right? Like you incorporate this activity that allows students to have their own authentic response in this private environment that's just for you, but could also be shared if they're comfortable with that. And then it addresses things like, just as we're going through, can you imagine someone having a different perspective than you on whatever topic, right? That's that empathy piece, which off the top of my head, I think that's benchmark 4, right? So this is great. Heidi, you're the best. Thank you very, very
I
much.
love it. The other thing is, real quick, is that you can take one slide out at a time. I mean, if you want to mix and match or just use one quick check-in slide, maybe after recess, you can just take that one slide and use it in your Pear Deck and have them communicate with you. So you don't have to take the whole slide deck, right? You can pick and choose.
Beautiful.